Shana Tova, a healthy and happy new year to you all.
Lashana Tova from Candace Nemoff. By the time you see this, actually, I'll be in Israel.
Grateful for your presence and sending prayers for goodness in this new year.
Lashana Tova to our Erev Shalom community.
From our home to yours, we wish you good health and happiness,
joy and peace today and throughout the year. Lashana Tova Tikatevu.
We hope the new year brings you gratitude, healing, and insight.
Lashana Tova to our Erev Shalom family.
Shana Tova from Debbie and Mark.
The Poster family
wishes everyone
a good and sweet New Year.
Lashana Tova.
Greetings and Happy New Year.
Lashana Tova from Erin,
Stephen,
and Izzy.
Tekiah! Tekiah! Shana Tova.
From our family to yours, Shana Tova.
Lashana Tova.
Lashana Tova.
Dear friends, I want to thank you for remaining loyal members of our congregation, Erev Shalom, and thank you for keeping the Jewish community alive in your hearts. On behalf of Emily and all of our family, we wish you a happy and a healthy new year. Lashana Tova.
Shana Tova from Swansea, Massachusetts.
Shana Tova from the Arches.
Lashana Tova from the Schuster family.
Hello, just wanted to wish everyone a Lashana Tova.
Lashana Tova, wishing you a happy and healthy new year.
Wishing everyone a happy new year. Sollt ihr Leben bis 120.
Shana Tova and Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to all of you who have been gathering in our sanctuary for many years, to all of you who are new to Erev Shalom, and to all of you who are new to Jewish life. Welcome. Although pandemic demands we remain separate physically, there's nothing that can stop us from gathering spiritually. Still, who feels a little odd participating in High Holy Day services from home? Understood. The original temple in ancient Jerusalem was called Beit HaMikdash, the House of Holiness. Our sages taught that the holiness of Beit HaMikdash extends into each of our homes, creating a miniature house of holiness, a Mikdash Ma'at. I have full faith in our capacity to create sacred space in each of our homes. So please gather whatever it is in your home that helps you create a sacred space and be present with us. Please now take a moment to reach out and greet someone new. Lashana Tova and Shabbat Shalom. Here I am, so poor in deeds, I tremble in fear, overwhelmed and apprehensive before you to whom Israel sings praise. Although unworthy, I rise to pray and seek favor for your people Israel, for they have entrusted me with this task. Therefore, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God of Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, Adonai, Adonai, merciful, gracious God, who inspires awe, I pray to you for success on my path. I pray for myself and my community. Do not hold them responsible for my wrongs and offenses. May my deeds cause them no shame, and may their deeds cause me no shame. Accept my prayer as though it were offered by one more worthy of this task, a scholar proficient in prayer, unblemished in character, pleasing in voice. Let love be our banner. Let it banish our wrongs. May Israel's strife and misfortunes be turned into joy, renewed life, and peace. Love, peace, and truth, may they prevail among us, and may there be no impediment to my prayer. Adonai, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God of Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, great, mighty, awe-inspiring God Most High, who said to Moses, I will be what I will be, may it be your will that my prayer reach your presence for the sake of the righteous and blameless, the honest and pure of heart, for the sake of your glory. You hear your people's prayer with compassion. Blessed are you, the one who hears prayer. We rise, whether on our feet or in our souls, we rise. Feel called to worship wherever you are. Even though separated in body, we are together in spirit, standing together for this sacred time.
You shall love Adonai your God with all your mind, with all your soul, and with all your strength. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand, and let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates.
Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. Thus you shall become holy to your God. I, Adonai, am your God, who brought you out of Egypt to be your God. I, Adonai, am your God. Adonai Elohechem emet. Adonai, your God, is true.
Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים, וכותבנו בספר החיים, וכותבנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים.
As we prepare for moments of silent prayer, followed by Avinu Malkeinu, we meditate on the paradoxical nature of this prayer. How can God be both our parent and our ruler? By juxtaposing these two metaphors, the prayer conveys an important double perception of God. We call you Avinu, as a loving parent. Forgive our wrongs and failings, accept us in our human frailty. And we call you Malkeinu, as sovereign of our souls, hold us accountable and help us rise from brokenness to build a world of peace.
We stand as those before us have stood, summoned to judgment, longing for love.
Avinu Malkeinu, may these words be a bridge. They come from our hearts. May they lead us to you. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, hear our voice.
Avinu Malkeinu, we have strayed and sinned before you.
Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion on us and our families.
Avinu Malkeinu, halt the onslaught of sickness, violence, and hunger.
Avinu Malkeinu, halt the reign of those who cause pain and terror.
Avinu Malkeinu, enter our names in the book of lives well lived.
Avinu Malkeinu, renew us for a year of goodness.
Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, answer us with grace, for our deeds are wanting. Save us through acts of justice and love.
Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Koleinu. Avinu Malkeinu,
A Berkman Merkazli mood class was studying the Akedah, or binding of Isaac, one of the traditional readings for Rosh Hashanah morning. In the story, God commands Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac. As Abraham lifts his knife for the sacrifice, an angel comes to stop him at the last second. Abraham, having proved his faith in God. When the class came to the arrival of the angel, one child burst out crying. "Why are you crying?" asked the teacher. "Didn't the angel come, and wasn't Isaac saved?" "Yes," sobbed the child. "But what if the angel had been too late?" In the original telling, this conversation was actually between Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel and his father. In recounting the story later in life, Heschel would often add that although an angel cannot come late, we, made of flesh and blood, can be. Angels are never late, but we can be. How many times have we all said, "I'll call them tomorrow," or "that can wait another day," only to discover that we were too late? Heschel is imploring us not to wait, not to put off what we need to do, because tomorrow might be too late. This past spring, I was too late. Worried, like many of you, about going to my local polling place in person, I chose to apply for a mail-in ballot. I meant to fill out the online application way back in March, but I was a little preoccupied. Then came April, and before I knew it, it was May, and the deadline was fast approaching. I submitted my form in just the nick of time and awaited my vote-by-mail ballot. I kept checking the mailbox every day, excited to cast my vote. Monday, still no ballot. Tuesday, still no ballot. I called the office to try to get help, but no answer. I emailed, no response. And so I kept waiting. And before I knew it, it was June 2nd, Election Day, and my ballot had still not arrived. My ballot arrived the next day, but it was too late. Angels are never late, but we can be. I don't know whether it was the Postal Service, a city or state employee, but somewhere, someone was too late, and I was disenfranchised as a result. There are over 10 million people in Pennsylvania who are eligible to vote. In 2016, nearly 4 million of them did not cast their vote, some by choice, and many because they faced barriers to the ballot box. Barriers like too few polling places, a lack of interpreters, and inaccurate voting records. One of the most important races on the 2016 ballot, the presidential election, was decided in Pennsylvania by 44,000 votes. Pennsylvania votes matter, and not enough of them are being cast or being counted. We have an opportunity and an obligation to do something, but in 46 days, it will be too late. It is our moral obligation to ensure that every Pennsylvanian who is eligible to vote on November 3rd has that right afforded to them. There are no angels coming. It is up to us. Rodef Shalom is proud to be part of the Reform Movement's 2020 civic engagement campaign. It is grounded in our belief that democracy is strongest when everyone participates. This is not a partisan issue. Our goals are to ensure that our Reformed Jewish values are present in the public sphere, all within 501c3 guidelines. This means that we will advocate for issues like equal access to the ballot box, and that we will not endorse candidates or parties. Voting rights may have been politicized, but they are not partisan. This is rooted in our most basic Jewish values of standing with the oppressed in our society and working for equality and justice. Poor, minority, and geographically isolated communities are typically the most at risk for disenfranchisement and voter suppression. We have an obligation to stand up for their right to vote because we are all created B'Tselem Elohim in God's image. Everybody has a spark of God's divine light inside of them. Every voice needs to be heard, and every vote needs to be counted. So here's what we're going to do about it. Our first goal is to have a 100% voter congregation. This is the low-hanging fruit. I am proud to say that we already have a highly engaged congregation, but we are not going to rest on our laurels. October 19th is the last day to register to vote before the election. Please make sure that you and your friends and family are registered. Studies have shown that people are more likely to vote if they commit to voting ahead of time. We will post a link at the end of this service with some commitment cards for you to fill out. Think about your voting plan now. Are you going to vote by mail or in person? Do you know where your polling place is this year? What time are you going to vote? I'm excited to share that teen members of our congregation are already working hard to get out the vote among their peers. If you are a teen, maybe someone who can't vote yet but wants to make a difference, please also fill out a commitment card, and one of our teen leaders will reach out to you, probably on Snapchat or Instagram or something like that. The second goal in our campaign is to combat voter suppression. According to an article in the Philadelphia Inquirer, tens of thousands of Pennsylvanians were disenfranchised in the last spring election. When I first thought of voter suppression, I imagined something like goons standing outside a polling place threatening you if you didn't vote for the right candidate. I learned that voter suppression can come in so many forms, including what happened to me last spring. Voter ID laws, a lack of polling places, poll workers, interpreters, restrictions on vote by mail, these are all forms of voter suppression. Voter suppression is not new. Just over 100 years ago, women in our country finally gained the right to vote with the ratification of the 19th Amendment. Countless women worked tirelessly for their right to vote. Women like Harriet Forten Purvis, an African-American abolitionist and first-generation suffragist from Philadelphia, who knew how important it is to count every voice and every vote. Standing on the shoulders of Harriet Forten Purvis and countless others who have worked for universal suffrage, we too must commit ourselves to this righteous work. Angels are never late, but we can be. This year, in this upcoming election, we can't be late. Are you ready? Are you ready to stand up and be counted? Are you ready to help ensure that every eligible Philadelphian and Pennsylvanian has the chance to cast their ballot? Are you ready to say Hineni, here I am? When God called to Abraham at the start of the Akedah story, Abraham said, Hineni, here I am. And as they were walking up to the sacrificial altar, Isaac grew scared and called out to his father. Abraham responded, Hineni, here I am. And when the angel of God came down to stop that sacrifice, yelling, Abraham, Abraham, Abraham once again responded, Hineni, here I am. Are you ready to say Hineni? Here I am. According to Rashi, Hineni is the answer of the pious. It is an expression of readiness. God called Abraham to prepare him to do something difficult. Abraham understood this. That is why he said, Hineni. Are you prepared to do the work? Are you ready to say, Hineni, here I am? At the end of this service, please follow the link to a commitment card. You can commit to registering to vote, creating a voting plan, doing voter outreach within our congregation, or joining in our advocacy campaign to combat voter suppression. 10 days from now, on Yom Kippur, we will read the words of the prophet Isaiah. Is this the fast I desire? A day for people to starve their bodies, bowing your head like a reed and lying in sackcloth and ashes? Do you call that a fast? The day the Eternal wants? No. This is the fast that I desire. To unlock fetters of wickedness, to untie the cords of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free, to break off every chain. It is to share your bread with the hungry and to take the wretched poor into your home. When you see the naked, to clothe them and not to ignore your own kin. Then your light shall burst forth like the dawn and your healing spring up quickly. Your vindicator shall march before you. The presence of the Eternal shall be your defense. Then, when you call, the Eternal will answer. When you cry, God will say, Hineni, here I am. When we say Hineni, God says Hineni. We are partners in this ever-unfolding work of creation. Tikkun Olam, repair of the world, is built on the premise that God created this world incomplete for us to finish the work. When we show up, when we stand ready, when we say, Hineni, here I am, we bring God's presence into this world. When we say Hineni, God says Hineni. Angels are never late, but we can be. This new year, may it be your will, God, that we are not late. This year, may we all say, Hineni, here I am. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will. Amen.
May this be a year of love and kindness. May strangers come to be friends. May truth and compassion always guide us. Amen. May this be a year of hope and healing for all of those in need. May all of our deeds be a blessing. Amen. A new year, a good year, a chance to start all over. A new year, a sweet year, a chance to bring us closer. May this be a year of selfless giving. May this be a year of peace. And may we forgive and be forgiven. Amen. A new year,
before these congregational memorial books, honoring those on whose shoulders we stand, we turn our thoughts to all who are in mourning with these words from Chana Senesh. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. So it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember.
George M. Axelbund, Doris Byfield, Robert Bernstein, Jack Blankensee, Shirley Bloom, Bessie Bogdanoff, Sylvia C. Briskman, Etta LeBlanc Bunton, Alfred Bush, Adam Bennett Carlson, Samuel Curson, Esther Davidson, Bessie Diamond, Miriam Dittenfass, Albert Edelstein, Florence Hess Ehrlich, Sarah Eisner, Goldie Feinstein, Samuel Feinstein, Lillian Fried, May Friedman, Samuel Friesman, Fred R. Freundlich, Edward Furman, Alex Simcha Garber, Alfred E. Garfinkel, Ruth B. Garson, Howard Gittis, Florence Bass Danian Gleaner, John J. Goldie, Dorothy Naomi Grossman, Nadine W. Gushner, Samuel Heidelberger, Howard Hirsch, Mary Holin, Robert Horwitz, Pauline Israelite, George Jackson, Emmanuel S. Carden, Abraham J. Kaufman, S. Herbert Kaufman, Judith Orrit Klein, David Kleinbard, Morden I. Cohn, Joseph Kudera, Harold Lenz, Mildred Smith Levin, Abraham J. Brem Levy, Claire L. Lobus, Anselm Loeb, Edward McCransky, Herman Martin, Julia Martin, Louis Martin, Alfred Mayer, Lillian Meltz, Jenny L. Mayer, Crenny Muldewer, Dorothy Perlman Nagin, Henrietta Hirsch Neumayer, Mary Olivant, Tilly Moskowitz Panzer, A. Jack Rappaport, Bernard S. Rosen, George M. Rosenstein, Lena Rosenzweig, Barbara B. Rubenstein, Robert Rubin, Eva L. Sattler, Sue Schwartz, Stacy L. Schwartz, Charles S. Shapiro, Louis Shore, Nathan E. Simon, Beatrice Sloan, Celia Weiss Snitzer, Celia F. Stein, Audrey I. Stein, James L. Stern, Esther Harris Strauss, Herbert M. Strauss, Rosalind Strober, Charles Sutter, Bernard Viner, Louis Edgar Walter, Esther Wapner, Kate Weiss, Evelyn Woolman, Samuel Yermanok. We add the names of those who have been taken from our midst, but not from our hearts, in these most recent days, for whom we observe Shloshim. Paul R. Aronson, Andrew Greenberg, Claire Levy Levi, Richard Smith. If you are observing Yartzeit or Shloshim for a loved one whose name was not called, please feel free to add it to the comments now.
Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Dvara Chirutei v'yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon u'yomechon, Uv'chaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehe Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Olmei Almaya, Yit Barach v'yishtabach v'yit Pa'ar v'yit Romam v'yit Naseh, v'yit Hadar v'yit Aleh v'yit Halal Shemei D'Kudashah B'reichu. Le'ela u'le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, Damiran be'alma v'yamru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yamru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yamru amen. May the source of peace bestow peace on all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved. And together we say, Amen.
A new year, a sweet year. I invite you to gather your candles, wine or juice, and challah to join me at your own Shabbat table. We bring in the warmth of Shabbat and the hope and promise of a new year as we kindle these lights. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu, lehadlik ner, shel Shabbat v'shel Yom Tov. From one Mikdash Ma'at to another, Shana Tova and Shabbat Shalom.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol am, ורוממנו מכל לשון, וקידשנו במצוותיו. ותיתן לנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה, את יום השבת הזה, ואת יום הזיכרון הזה, יום זיכרון תרועה באהבה מקרא קודש. זכר יציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ודברך אמת, וכיום לעד. ברוך אתה אדוני, מלך על כל השבת בישראל ויום הזיכרון. אמן. לחיים.
Shabbat Shalom and Shana Tova. From our home to yours, we wish you a happy new year. Please join with me in the motzi. Hopefully you all have a challah, maybe even a round one for this sweet new year, and some honey. We got our holy honey right here. All right. Ta-da. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon, which means bon appetit. Enjoy your Rosh Hashanah dinner, everyone. Shabbat Shalom, Shana Tova. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, our God and God of all generations. May your presence in our lives this new year renew our strength and renew our spirit. May it be a good year. May it be a sweet year. L'Shana Tova and Shabbat Shalom.
To all of our guests, we are so glad to embrace you into our sacred community, connected virtually in a way we never could have imagined before. We are proud to be able to invest in this open tent and to provide open access to all, because we believe we are responsible to the greater community and to the future of the Jewish people. If you are in a position to support Congregation Erev Shalom with a financial contribution, we would be so grateful. And we invite all who are looking to deepen your relationship with us to connect with our community. L'Shana Tova.
Avinu